Okay, so let's do the Broadwell HD5500. This is I'm doing this on my Broadwell High Sierra. So first, assuming you get the base, after you're done, you must have the base system chunk list, base system DMG, Apple Diagnostic DMG. If you can't even download this, go to my website, a video on how to download them and create them. Alright, so this is the base, assuming it's done. So this is 8 gig. I use Clover 4220. The newest one now is 4233. Both of them will work. So let's open this one up. The best is to create with the boot disk utility. If you look at my old tutorial or go to the website, I have the link for the boot disk utility and how to create it. After you're done creating it, you will have the EFI folder. Inside here, you have Clover. When you first install macOS High Sierra, you can use the original DSDT will have DSDT, all the SSDT from your system. And if you don't know how to get this, you can go to Clover when you boot it up, and then you can hit F4, or the best one I use is to go to the website called Read Write Everything and extract it from your Windows and put all of these inside a patch folder. And what you need, driver 64 UEFI. I'm doing this one, not the SSD. So the SSD, you may have problem of formatting, APFS or something like that. But this one right here is the 1 gig hard drive normal. Okay, so that's very important. You need this HFS Plus, but I think there's a new one on Clover that replaced this, but I use the old-fashioned way. HFS Plus and NTFS and EFI, you need those two. Boot disk utility should boot it with this one. Okay, this is what I have. Is the text folder. So I don't put anything. I put no other. I don't put anything the other. Okay. So I want to make sure they don't go to other. So I rename this folder, but I use 10.13 folder. And what do I have inside here? This one right here for the Broadwell. You got a problem with the DMVT. So I use this one. But this one will go with the lilu.kex. Now, if you're going to use Apple ALC to patch ALC 255, you should put in the 1013 folder. The important thing is this. If you open this up, the info list, library bundle, make sure that the lilu is 1.1.0, because if it's not going to load. Because I think they set it at 1.1.4 or something. Because the lilu, if you look at the lilu.kex, they don't match with each other. That's why even sometimes you put, it didn't work. Look at this. OS bundle compatible version is 1.1.0. Remember this one. So all the dependency with the lilu, make sure it's 1.1.0. After this is done, so what do I have in here? Let me go over. The Broadwell, you don't need to patch the battery. All you need is the ACPI battery management.kex from RehabMan. I don't know what version this one is, but it works. 1.702. It could be the old one. If your BIOS already have ACPI port already selected, you don't need this one, but I just put it to be safe. Fake SMC kex, but I don't put all this hardware stuff on it. And Voodoo PS2 controller. This one, I use the latest one from RehabMan, which is 1.8.28. So go to RehabMan, download all the new stuff. So that is the case. The next one you want to do is config. This is very important. If the config is wrong, you got panic all over. It's reboot every single time. So here's what it is. ACPI, all you need to do is to put the original DSDT.aml, that is original, because you haven't patched anything yet. Drop OEM, you turn this one to no, not yes, because you haven't patched it. SSDT, drop OEM is also no. So you can put the sort order original one, okay? So if you have 6, 7 of them, put them in. These are all patched already. So boot, I do it very simple. Dot equal to 0. NV disable equal to 1. And minus V for verbal. Ignore NVRAM boot. Make sure it's no. That means always. Default volume is after you're done with it, so it doesn't matter. Audio. This audio is only for if you patch a HDMI. I patched the HDMI with layout 13, so I use this one. Inject USB. Disable driver. Make sure this one is on. GUI is the same as everybody else if you have 1080 or whatever. The graphics, they are very important. If you use 1626 0006 IG platform ID, when you boot to install, do not inject Intel. Put this one to no. The next one is Kernel and Patches. Okay, I do all this yes. So Kex to patch. I use this one from RehabMan because if you use IG platform ID 1620006, you must find in the Broadwell graphic frame buffer. Put this in there, but I'm sure you don't have the Xcode. So go to my website. I will put the code there. But if you use the text to add it, the number is different. So find, these are the number now, the data, and this is the text data. So everything else is if you have the Broadcom, this one is just for Wi-Fi. Now, the external icon patch, I put this one, so I can have all of these things. I don't know if it still works, but it's been there since El Capitan and Sierra. Change the port 15 to 26. Disable, yes, mean you don't load it. So all of these are for HDMI. So if you want to patch your 255, go to my website and I show it to you on that. Kernel to patch. This one from Pike or Alpha. SM BIOS is very important. If you choose the wrong one, it won't boot nicely. So anything to do with the U5500U, you have to use MacBook Air 7.2. So if you use MacBook Pro, it's not going to work well. Inject Kex, I put yes. System ID, yes. That's it. Make it simple. Don't put too many things inside the config file because there's so many general config file that they put so many things that's not related to yours and you get confused. Okay, make it simple. Then you can boot. After you boot and install it in, now always install it into the external hard drive to make sure that it works. Okay, before you put it inside your hard drive. If you want more information, click the link below on the info and go to the website. All the files and stuff should be there for you to look at, to get it done correctly. For people who don't have a Mac, you can go to my tutorial on how to extract and create the USB boot installer with all the Windows software. And I did it for the El Capitan and Sierra too, I think. But you can use it. It should be the same for this. The only thing you couldn't get is the kernels folder. So assuming that you do it correctly, you have to extract the kernel folder for the correct version of your, this is the release version, okay? So if you go to System, Library, inside here you have to put in the kernel folder. If you don't have it, you go to my website and you ask. I will post it up there when I have time. I do have the same problems as you, that it was reboot because the kernel panicked many times. So this is very carefully created so that you won't have that problem. So let's stop here.